Hello and thank you for joining me. My name is Heather Forgan. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Scotland. My website is stampwithnellie.com. And today's project is this huge big gift bag. Now I've had to put it on an angle like that just so that I can make sure you actually see it all. This uses a full sheet of 12 by 12 inch designer series paper, and this is from the Forever Greenery pack. And the final measurements of the bag are 10 inches long in height. We've got 2 inches wide, and I've forgotten what that was, 3 3/4 inches across that way. So it is a huge big bag, and plenty of room in that for lots of goodies. I will show you what I've got in this one. So it's a simple ribbon closure I've used one of the stitched nested label dies to help with the closure there, and I've got a lovely big body cream in my one. So this is a 200 ml, and there's plenty of room in there. I could have made it a little bit shorter if I wanted to, but I just thought I would use up the whole sheet. So I'm going to make another one and show you how I did that. All of the details and the measurements, etc., and the products that I used will be in my blog post, and there will be a link to that blog post in the description bar below. So as I said, I'm using a full sheet of the Forever Greenery designer series paper, and I want to score this at 2 inches, 5 3/4 inches, 7 3/4 inches, and 11.5 inches. Okay, turn that around and then score at 2 inches along the bottom. Nice and easy. Just put that out of the way. And as always, I want to reinforce those score lines. Now, given the size of this piece of paper, there will be times where you're not going to be able to see the whole thing, but hopefully you get to see the bit that I'm working on at that particular time. So each time, especially with a big piece, I'm going to make sure that I've got the edges lined up before I reinforce those score lines there, so that I don't go adrift. So just making sure that we've got that lined up top and bottom, and then I can use my bone folder along that edge. One more to do, and again making sure that we're nice and straight before we go along. And we've only got one at this side. Okay, now the cutting is super simple. We have a small section in this corner, and I'm just taking that out with an extra little wedge, and I'll take a little wedge out of the top of there too. And then, as per usual with most of my bags and boxes, we cut up the score lines along the bottom to the first horizontal score line, and you'll see we've got 2 rectangles and 2 squares. We leave the rectangles alone and we chop into the square just to help it to fold a bit more neatly. Because it's a big piece of paper, it's a little bit cumbersome, but I'll get there. Nice and easy so far. And I'm just going to add glue along that narrow strip. Oh, it's a brand new bottle of glue. So it kind of came out a bit fast at the top there. So what I'll do is I'll just take off some of that excess with one of those spare bits that we chopped off. Okay, fold it over again, just double checking that you've got it lined up, and then just press that down. Okay, now if I hadn't taken that excess glue, it probably would have come out at the top there, but we're fine. So just make sure we're all nice and neat. Okay, so we've got our seam there, so that is our back. We want to put a little bit of glue on each of these side tabs. Okay, and that's our back. We fold in the back like so, and then we can put glue along there. Now, if you were filling this up with something very heavy, I would also suggest that you cut a piece of card and put that in the bottom there just to reinforce it as well. Now, normally I would use my bone folder just to make sure that all of those bits are stuck down, but it's too short for this one. That seems okay, and we're fine there. Okay, so pop our gift in and then simply pinch along the top. Now you could, depending on the size of your gift, you could put a crease along the middle there. I'm quite happy just with it to be at the top like that. Now, the bag closure. For this one, I have used one of the, well, not one of the, most definitely is the largest stitch nested label dies, and I have cut it for this one from Shaded Spruce card. Now I'm just going to bring in my Simply Scored tool again, and I want to score that at 2.5 inches. I've just butted it along the top and in at that point there, turn it around and do the same again at 2.5 inches, and that gives us a little bit of leeway for the top of the bag like that. Okay. What I want to do is add some glue to the bit that we're going to put at the back. So that's the front with a nice neat join. That's the back where we've got, we can see the edge of the paper there. So it'll be easier to do this with it lying down. It is a rather cumbersome project. And I'm just lining that up with the bottom score line, trying to get it in the middle there. Okay. And then we've got our second score line there. Now, to make my life a little bit easier, I am going to put a little clip along the top there just for a moment, and I'm going to bring in my crocodile, and the crocodile will go through all of the layers here, no problem. just use that little guide there to make sure I've got them at the same height across there. Okay, so we now just want to add in some ribbon, and I am using the Whisper White crinkled seam binding ribbon. Now that's a mouthful, isn't it? Through there and back through to the front. Just adjust the length of your ribbon. And tie it in a bow. Do this upside down. There we go. It's just a bit easier with all the stuff on my desk. There we are. And as always, you can just play about with your bow until you are absolutely happy with it. But the great thing about this crinkle seam ribbon is that it is nice and easy to tie in a bow and looks great because it's already been crinkled. You don't have to worry about crinkling it again. So, on my first version, I used Pretty Peacock, and I stamped the sentiment from Forever Fern stamp set, to a friend that makes me smile. I've done the same, this time using shaded spruce to match with the shaded spruce card. This gold piece is from the Forever Gold Laser Cut Speciality paper, and I've got a different one for this bag. So I'm kind of changing it up. With that one there was a solid gold circle in the middle, so I just put the stamp sentiment on, which I had cut with a stitched shapes die. This time I have used layering circles dies on my stamped one and a scalloped one from the same set for a piece of shaded spruce card. Again, just to combine, to coordinate. So I am actually going to pop the top one on with some dimensionals. Again, just to mix it up. And pop that in the middle of that. Put a few dots of glue onto my laser cut. Just on the larger parts of the leaves. Again, I'm trying not to put too much on because I don't want it squeezing out. But with a new bottle of glue, that's not quite so easy. I've got a little cloth here. I'm just going to dab off a couple of the bits that came out a bit too much. Okay. And I'm just going to put that down there. Gently press it in place. Add some glue to this one and pop that in the centre. Okay, so we have two versions, and hopefully you've been able to see most of that in the camera. And I can take my clip off now of this beautiful, huge, big gift bag using Forever Greenery and Forever Gold for a touch of luxury. I hope you've enjoyed this project. As I said earlier, all of the details of the products that I've used will be listed in my blog, and the blog post will be listed below. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd love to read a positive comment. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I really would appreciate it if you do. Until the next time, take care. Bye.